I'm trying to flip $500 trading Forex, except I'm doing it in the most transparent way that no other trader has done before. I'm trading with a third-party brokerage, which is Fusion Markets, and I also have a public MyFX book with the link in my description so you guys can all follow along and make sure I'm not fluffing the numbers like everybody else does. There's not a single trader that has a public MyFX book while they do these small account flips, and it's because they all trade on their own servers so that they can fluff the numbers. And this is inadvertently a review of Fusion Markets as well to see if they will even withdraw me. A little bit about myself. I've been trading since like 2018. I've been consistently profitable since 2020, and that's about the time where I started to own my own prop firms as well. One of the best parts about being a prop firm owner is if you read the agreements you sign once you get onto the funded accounts, this is the standard amongst all prop firms, is that you have to disclose your trading strategy to the prop firm if they ask you to. This has allowed me to dissect thousands of different traders' strategies and apply certain things to my own trading strategies. Anyways, I got my Timmies, so we're gonna see if we can blow it, flip it, and just overall bring you along the journey of trading with Fusion Markets as well to see if they even withdraw me.
What's up? This is the first trade I'm gonna take. I can't stay on and record it because we have a business meeting coming on, but I'm buying Euro USD right here. Pretty much, we broke out of this key consolidation zone, and I think we're forming a new one right here. And this is some of my exact entry model where we break out a key consolidation zone, price comes back down or retest the top or bottom of it, and then show signs of rejections. So that is why I am taking this trade. And as you guys can see, I am going to take it right here, buying it right there. My first position placed on this live account with, and we will see what's going to happen. I'm going to set my stops right below here. It's probably going to be like $100 risk, or maybe I might even mitigate it to be like $50, but we'll see what happens. I'll put my take profit up here, or I'll show you guys. I'll put my take profit somewhere up here, and then my stop's pretty tight right below there. But I can't record and watch this play out because I have a business meeting in literally 40 seconds when this candle closes. So I will be back after that, and we will see what happens if I lose my first trade placed on this live account. $500 live account challenge. Let's go, baby. Okay, we're back. It's been like 30 minutes. The first trade hit stop loss. I entered again because this is another entry signal, which is a better entry signal than the first one because this one dropped down a little bit further down, even into this fair value gap right now. And we will see if this trade plays out. I have my stop loss and my take profit set already for it. As you guys can see, I'm risking like, I think it's $90 to make, I think just over 400, but the probability of me holding it to full take profit is low. I'll probably close it at 300 maybe, but we will see if we get stopped out or not. I have a pretty tight stop loss again, and like I said, like this entire Euro USD is pretty overvalued right now, so this is a pretty risky trade to be taking, but I think it will work out in our favor. So let's see what happens. So the first trade hit stop loss for like $100, and we're trying it again at the top of this wick right here. And this is kind of what the position is right there. So I will just let this run and see what happens. I might cut it if we start to drop below the previous low right here, but I think it's worth it to at least hold it for the full risk because we could be making $400. Yeah, we lost 100, but that would bring us back up to $300 of profit if this trade hits. So let's see what happens. This is on the live account, as you can see too. Fusion Markets live. This is inadvertently a review of their brokerage as well. If they, let's say I do end up flipping the account to like a couple grand or something, and they deny a withdrawal, obviously you guys would be the first ones to know. So this is inadvertently a review of Fusion markets as well. Let's go down to the 1 minute just because it's better to look at. I was hoping I'd get off the business call and it would just be like flying, but hit stop loss as soon as I got off, pretty much. That's okay though. I have a pretty tight stop loss just because we don't have much margin and much room to work with $500, right? Like you're only going to be able to get like one or two good trades, and hopefully you hit the first, or hopefully the second one. Like this one is going to be our second one. So like the plan would be to hopefully get one or two wins quick, so then you have more of a buffer, especially when you're working with like $500. And like when it comes down to it, you should be actively managing every single trade when you are trading with this little of amount, because realistically, it's possible that I don't even close this trade if I didn't have a stop loss set, because we'd be already coming back, and like realistically, we wouldn't even been lost anything, right? So that's why, especially if you have a little trading account like $500, you should be actively managing it, which I obviously couldn't because I had a very important business meeting for my new prop firm, Shockwave Capital. It was with MetaQuotes about getting our own servers and everything. So like I couldn't just not show up to that meeting, right? Just to like record this. So we're hoping that this continues pushing up. So this would validate the trade massively if we break above this little high right here on the 1 minute, and then it continues going. And then the next levels we'd be looking for it to break would be the previous one where we took the trade off of the first time, which would be this wick up here. Then after that, it would be this level up here and then up here. But we just need price to shoot up really quickly, give us some momentum to the top side, and then keep on going. But usually what price loves to do is it loves to create these little key consolidation zones, is what I call them. And it loves to bounce around them. And usually once price comes back up and breaks into a new one, the likelihood of it testing the high or the low of it a couple times again is pretty high. So it seems like we're breaking above back into it. So hopefully we can test the high again. But with that being said, we are in an overall downtrend for the day. In terms of, and recently since the start of the day, which would be, this would be open right here, 7:30 for me, and then obviously it's been tanking ever since. But we're due for a reversal because on the higher time frames we are in an overall uptrend, and I'm thinking, what I'm hoping is that this is just a flag down in the overall uptrend on the higher time frames, and we shoot up and we start trading sideways in this big range right here. So I'm just looking to see if I can time the bottom of this flag, and then hopefully we start trading up in here sometime soon. But it's funny, last night I took a trade. I opened up a $500 demo account with Fusion Markets just so I could learn like their position sizes and everything. And I actually took a position right here, and through the course of the night, it obviously hit take profit, which would have been $300. But if I was actively managing it, I think like the top of this would have been 1,200. So imagine what I originally wanted to do was load up my account yesterday and take this trade, but I'm like, it's like 2 a.m. Maybe I should just put a demo account just so I can learn how the spreads work and everything first. So I did. And obviously, if I would have loaded up the live account yesterday and took the trade, we would have been up $300 instead of currently down 100. So So it looks like price finally broke out of this little level right here, and now we're just waiting for it to come, keep on pushing up. This is a high risk setup too, by the way, because we don't know when the low of this. We're betting that it's making another key consolidation zone in between these two levels right here. So this would be the high of it, this would be the low of it, and we are betting that price is making a key consolidation zone, and we're at the low of it. But we don't know if we're at the low of it. The low of it could be down here. It could be on this red line. So this is a high risk scalp position right now, and hopefully we're able to break above these highs right here. That would give us lots of confirmation. So like where my crosshair is right now, hopefully we're able to break above these highs right here. Let's see how we're looking on the 5 minute, because that's what it comes down to. So we're still looking fucking healthy on the 5 minute. So my entry model comes down, retests the zone, shows signs of rejections, would have been these two candle closes right here, which we took it. Too tight of a stop loss clearly, but this would have been an also amazing entry as well, which we got. Thankfully we got this. So hopefully the 5 minute candles continue closing green, and that just gives us lots of confirmation that we are on the right side of our analysis. We just had too tight of a stop loss right here, but either way, this is a good entry for us. Looking for a quick push up back to the top side. This is kind of fun. I haven't traded on this small of an account since like 2020, 2019 when I first started. Sort of every single trade means something. Not that every single trade doesn't mean something when you get into bigger accounts or prop firm accounts, but like you've got to fucking win trades, otherwise you're going to lose money, right? On small accounts like this. If I wanted to reduce risk, I could put my stop loss right above this low right here. I'd probably put it right there. So that's $30 we'd be losing instead of the full 100. But it looks like we're starting to come back down. But like I said, price is back into this price range right here. So the probability of it staying in it is higher than it dropping out now. Even though we are in like a 1 minute chart. So structures in the 1 minute chart don't really mean shit. But the probability of price staying in this range now is pretty high, especially since we have a 5 minute candle close inside of it as well. Just gives us more confirmation that we're going to stay in it. And then what we would need to see is it break out of this zone into this one right here, and then trade in it, and then hopefully break out of it, continue going up. But if price does come back down and start showing signs back down, it's probably a good idea to cut the trade before it gets hits our full risk. Currently up $30. Crazy profit for the day. Wouldn't even cover my lunch. Imagine if I put an order signal or an order right here on my stop loss. You guys ever see that video of the one guy saying, instead of taking market executions, you should put your orders to where you would put your stop loss and just watch price always go towards it. And that's so true, because this is exactly what would have happened right here. Went exactly to my stop loss and reversed. Crazy. I really hope this brokerage is good though. If we do end up flipping the account to like something a little significant, and then if I withdraw it, hopefully that they actually withdraw. They are a very good brokerage from what I've seen. They have a 4.7 Trustpilot review, which is unheard of, which is way better than any payment processor or any brokerage that I've come across so far. So I think as long as you're trading normally and not trying to manipulate the system, you should be fine when it comes to withdrawing profits from like a regulated brokerage like this. Like as long as you're not being like a dinghead trying to manipulate their systems or using a bunch of weird HFT bots that maybe you didn't read their TOS to make sure that you're allowed to trade with them. As long as you're not doing anything like that and you're just trading normally like I am, I feel like we shouldn't run into any issues when it comes to withdrawing. Because as far as I know, how I'm trading right now isn't going against any of their TOS or anything. Although, if it was, I'd be in shock. Because this is just like normal trading, right? Keep on pushing up, baby. Okay, I think I'm going to let this rock for a bit. And I'm going to get started on some work. And I'll update you guys with whatever happens. See if we go down another $100 or if we go up. I'm hoping I'm going to do like an hour or two of work, and I'm hoping we push at least somewhere up here. But then again, it is 12, so volatility is a little low, especially for Euro USD right now. Okay, I'll update you guys in a bit. Quick update. I put our stop on the Euro USD trade to break even, and it came down and hit it, and now we're rejecting back up. So that's crazy. So I probably shouldn't have done that, but I just wanted to reduce the risk just in case we came back down. And I entered into a SOL trade, a SOL sell right here. So if we go over to the SOL market, SOL USD, because Fusion Markets actually lets you trade SOL, which I've been wanting to try for like the longest time. But I just haven't found somewhere that actually lets you trade it. The spreads are really fucking high on it. But it's going to be fun to trade and learn how to trade it. So we're having this dump off on SOL. As you guys can see, my position's right there. And this is where the market is. And I'm just going into profit now. So like the spreads on SOL are fucking insane. But it makes sense because it's extremely volatile. And if they didn't have these massive spreads and stuff, then people would fucking slaughter them in the crypto markets. So just seeing if we are capable of continuing to push down and hit my take profit on this trade, which is down here, which is supposed to be like $100 profit. But with these spreads, I don't think it's going to be that much. So I'm kind of bummed that I moved my risk to break even on the Euro USD trade, because I think it still looks fucking favorable as fuck, but you can't really have FOMO, so it's whatever. Like look, you see this little gray line right here? This is the ask price. So like this is actually where the market is right now, which is insane. So like price only has to come up to here to hit my stop loss. That's why the spreads on this is crazy, and you probably shouldn't scalp SOL, but this looked like a good setup. We were in this little 5-minute key consolidation zone. We hit the top of it once, dropped down, and then just looking for it to do the same thing. Hit the top of it again, showing signs of rejections, looking for it to drop down, hopefully back down here, but we will see. This trade doesn't play out correctly, I'll probably be done for the day, and then I'll wake up early tomorrow. Hopefully we can get a big move, like get something like this on Euro USD and make $300. That would be the plan anyways. But I'll update you guys with what happens with the SOL trade, because I got to get started on other work. Okay, what's up? this is the update on what is happening with the trades. I closed the Solana trade for $60 right here. If I would have held it, we would have been up like 250. And let's go check on Euro USD because that's flying in our direction as well. So we would be up 150 right now if I didn't set my stop loss at break even, pretty much, as you guys can see. And key takeaways from this trading session, because I'm not going to be trading for the rest of the day, is trust your analysis. I obviously couldn't really fully trust my analysis because I have other work to be done on my prop firms and stuff. So I wasn't actively managing the Sol trade or the Euro USD trade. So on the Euro USD trade, I was right about to go into a business meeting. So I set my stops at break even after it pushed up a little bit. And it obviously came back down and hit our stop loss at break even pretty much. $4 is what I made. So that's pretty much break even. Then obviously the first analysis, which we entered right here, it came down and hit our stop loss exactly, and now it's raging back up. So key takeaway from the Euro USD trade is I should have been actively managing it, or plain and simple, since I knew I wouldn't be able to actively manage the Sol trade or the Euro USD trade, I simply put just shouldn't have been trading, because it ended up with me missing out on this trade, this move, and also made me miss out on another big move from Sol to the downside here, because I wasn't actively managing this trade either. I pretty much just, after the recording, after we pushed down a bit, I just decided to close it because I knew I wouldn't be able to manage it. So that's what's happening with those trades right now. I closed them. We are currently in, let me check. So first day's done. We lost $34 with commissions. That's another $9 lost. So that brings our balance to $456 from $500. But this is the part where you have a small account that if you do have a small account and you're trading it, you can't get FOMO. Like, yeah, we made bad decisions because I wasn't able to actively manage these trades. So that turns out we're in a loss. Don't not get FOMO just because we made some bad decisions and we lost some profits due to missing these moves, because these moves happen all day, every single day. So key takeaway from my performance today is if I'm going to be scalping and trying to trade, I need to have time to actually like manage the trades for at least an hour. So that's a key takeaway. And I would say the same thing for you guys as well. Give yourself at least an hour or two every single day so that you can actively manage your trade. And then if it's still moving sideways, that's when you step away and say, okay, I got to move on with my day. You have your risks and your take profit set, and then you just let the trade play out. But always, I would say, allow yourself to manage trades for at least 1 to 2 hours after taking them if you are scalping, which in this case with the $500 account, purely we're going to be scalping because that is the most bang for our buck to try and flip this thing. So first day's done. I'm not going to be taking any more trades until tomorrow morning. Down like $50 right now, but we will get it back because I know with one good trade we can be up $400 or even $500. I will update you guys tomorrow when I start trading again. I said I wasn't going to trade until morning, but as you can see, it is 1 a.m. and I just put an order in. It was just filled. Pretty much we came into this key consolidation zone, and these are previous levels that I've marked out of significance. And this is the trade, or like my risk that I have right here. And just a quick update just to show you guys that I got filled on an order, risking like 150 to make 500-ish. And we will see. I haven't updated this position on TradingView yet, but I will to reflect what I have over here. And we'll see what happens. I'm going to go to sleep. And I said I wouldn't be trading unless I could actively manage the trade. But obviously, we got filled, and we'll see what happens with this trade right now. And we're currently probably going to get stopped out because we are currently flying to the top side right now. Looks like it's sort of reversing with this overall downtrend right now. But I think there are some very key levels that it has to break through before it can hit our stop loss, which is good. But currently in $80 of drawdown right now. So I'll update you guys in the morning when I wake up. Okay, the trade hit last night, and we have another entry signal for a sell here. So I am selling immediately. Pretty much came down, is retesting the top of this key consolidation zone, drop down. It's retesting it again, showing signs of rejections back down. This is my exact entry model, and we will see if it plays out for us. It is Friday, so if we are going into drawdown and just moving sideways, I might just close it because it is Friday. Okay, I'm in. So there's my risk for the trade right there. And I will update this over here like so. But realistically, if this continues dropping the way it is, or continuing struggling to break above this key consolidation zone, realistically, you could hold it until down here. I woke up at like 6 a.m. this morning, which was around here, and I seen it coming around here, and I thought to myself, this is probably a buy signal, but then I went back to sleep, and what do you know, this would have been another like $400 trade, so I missed that. But I just checked the chart right now before I go to the gym, and we got a perfect entry signal. It's a little late of an entry. I like to enter off the second red candle close for the 5 minute, and we are entering off of the fourth right now. So it might still move sideways, might bounce around a bit, but that's okay. It still looks like a favorable trade per my system. And I will update you guys with what happens when whatever happens. Okay, what's up? It's Monday now. I think the last time I updated you guys was when we were in this position on Friday, and I closed it right before the open on Friday. Pretty sure that was the one. Could have been this one. But nonetheless, I didn't want to hold it over the weekend because it was this trade right here that we took on Friday. I didn't want to hold it over the weekend just in case open came up and hit it. But obviously, last night on Sunday when market opened, it would have hit my take profit. And it actually would have filled me lower than what I was expecting. So I would have been filled with more profit than my take profit. So, and then obviously we've been trading up. Came back into this key consolidation zone. We missed this trade this morning at 8:30. That would have been the trade of the day, but I'm trying to look for a continuation in the overall downtrend of the market. So looking for it to continue falling down. So I entered this sell right here. I am risking $100 to make 500. Pretty tight stop loss just because we did miss the major move of the day. So I want to keep it pretty tight just in case we do come back up and hit our stop loss. Because like I said, we did miss the main volatility when it comes to scalping for Euro USD for the day. So you don't really want to... This is probably not the best trade idea just because it is late in the day that I took it. But nonetheless, we're still assuming this overall downtrend after this push up in the morning and rejecting off of these key levels right here. So I will update you guys with what happens. And I think I closed this trade for the open trade before open happened. I closed it for like I will just show you my trading history right now. Closed it for $135. So that brought our profit to 403. So our balance right now is 885. Whoops. Is 885 right now, with like 1 or 2 days of trading on this $500 live account. And we're getting a push up right now, but I have work to do and I got to go work out and stuff. This is the reality of trading. One of the biggest things that proves somebody's a fraud in the trading world is when they have their whole camera crew set up or whatever and they're recording at the most opportune time when the move happens and they hit take profit. That doesn't fucking happen, man. Most people have jobs, most people have other commitments like me, and they aren't capable of sitting on the charts for 12 hours a day and recording a take profit being hit or big candle moves. Like, the reality of it is, if you're an actual trader, you usually just take the trade and let it play out while you're doing your other commitments for the day. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing, and I will update you guys with what happens with this trade when it happens. All right, it's the next morning. Here's a trade outcome. We kind of moved sideways, and then this is right after open right here. I decided to close it for like $150 worth of profit. And then right after open, I decided to re-enter again because it was still looking healthy, and it tanked. And then I closed this one for like another 150. Obviously, I could have still been holding it, and this would have been probably double that, so like 300. When I reopened this position, I reopened it with a 0.5 lot instead of a 1 lot like this one, just because I was entering in the middle of the move instead of at the start of it, like back here. But on the 5-minute chart where on TradingView, you can see it's just been a big tank show. Would have hit exactly at the bottom of this key consolidation zone if I just would have left it, or if I didn't wake up earlier than usual and then close the trade. So the first one would have hit as well. So like, even though like I'm still pretty experienced with trading, I still have a problem with letting my winners run, and this is a clear sign of it. But nonetheless, I still ended the day with like a 300 profit, which brings our balance to 1100, almost 1200, 1200. And here is my trading history so you guys can see it. So this was the first one, 171, and then the second one, 138. So pretty good. I've only been trading this account since the 12th, and currently it's the 17th. So it's been 3 days of trading so far, because obviously the 12th was right before the weekend, and now it's Tuesday. So 3 days of trading, made $700 worth of profit. Pretty damn good for a $500 account. And the goal is to see if I can get it up to like $3,000. And then I will try to pull out $2,000 of it and see if Fusion Markets withdraws me or if they make up a bullshit reason. And obviously I will bring you guys along with that, and we will see if they are a scam brokerage or not. But they do have really good Trustpilot reviews, and I'm not trying to take advantage of the system. I'm just trading like how you should be trading. So I don't think that there isn't any reason for them to deny a withdrawal, but we'll see if I get it up to $3,000, and then I'll try to take out 2. But for the time being, there's no other trades that I'm really looking for, because we already made 300 today. The next thing I would be looking for is, if I wanted to take another trade today, is I would wait for clear signs that this is pushing back up, and then I would buy it back up to the top of this key consolidation zone, have my stops below here. But we already made good profit today, so I don't know if I'll take that. But if I do end up taking it, then I will obviously try to hop on the recording in time before I enter the position. But if I don't, then I'll just update you guys with what happens with the trade. I actually might take it. Now that I'm thinking of it, I think it would be smart to take it, because we are at the bottom of this key consolidation zone. The thing that I would be sort of worried about is just if it's going to wick down a bit more before it starts to shoot back up. So after it shows signs of rejections from a couple green candle closes to the upside, then I might take it. So this is the next trade I'd be looking for, would be like a buy to the top of the key consolidation zone, or at the very least the 50% mark. So I'll keep an eye on this and I might enter. So last night I took the buy position. I was going to take it down here, but I decided not to, so I waited for a bit of a retest and I entered the position right here. I did record myself taking this, but it was on my phone, so I will put like an overlay video of me taking that on my phone. Now, if I was a crazy man, I would be looking at this, just this push up and then this retest of this red line, and now we're showing signs of rejections back off it again. If I was a crazy man, I would enter another position off of it, and I think I might be crazy because I think I'm going to do it, except for this one. I have my regular take profit and stop loss on this one, but on this other position that I'm going to take right now, I'm going to have a lot tighter stop loss, like right here, just so we're not losing more than we need to. And if we do have the wrong analysis of where price is going to go, it'll mitigate the loss as well. So I'm going to take another position. I don't know how much margin that's going to leave us. Let's see. So we have 740 margin right now. Oh wait, no, 460 margin. So I'm going to have a very tight stop loss right here. And let's see where that is specifically. Let's do 149.80. 149.80. There we go. And take profit for this one, I might just make it up here somewhere. So let's do 154.50. 154.50. Modify. All right. So we got the risk on the scaled position. Super tight for the stop loss. That's not even really where I want the stop loss. Maybe I'll even move it down a little bit down here, but I'll do that on my phone just because it's easier to move them around on MT5. But yeah, just waiting for it to have a push up and hopefully break above these highs that we were previously at earlier this morning, and then hit both of our take profits. That would be incredibly ideal. And then, yeah, go from there. I gotta get started on my day here, so I'll update you guys like I have been with what happens with the trades. This is gonna be a big trading day if price goes into our favor, because we did scale in. So instead of trading with a little baby 1 lot, we're gonna be trading with a 2 lot now. So I'm not gonna lie, it's been a week. The last time I updated you guys was June 18th. Now it's June 27th. But you know what? This is the reality of trading. And in my case, since I'm so busy with my prop firms, specifically my new one, Shockwave Capital, I haven't been able to film anything really for personal reasons. And this is completely personal because my YouTube on this is still a passion project. And there's no monetary gain for me filming anything. But I still have been trading this account, and as you can see, my balance is up to 1,600 now, and we're in a sold trade right now that's kind of just at break even. And the last time I updated you guys is the 18th. Like I said, I took these 2 buys. They both hit stop loss, as you can see, and then from there I've been getting a bunch of little scalps on Euro USD. A buy here that I got for 200 points, another buy here, but it hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows. Another buy there for 200 points, another sell there for 200 points, and another sell there for 200 points. And then I thought the sells were going to continue being a good choice, but hit a sell there for negative 150 points, hit another sell right here for negative, another sell for negative. Then I got a buy here, which was pretty much break even. I could have closed it up here for like $500, but I wanted to hold it for a bit longer. Came back to break even. That was my stop loss that I put right there for a break even trade because I wanted to see how high it was going to go. And then just this was another buy that I did today, and then another sniper entry right here today. And I want to break down this trade that I took last, and then I'll break down the sold trade that I'm in as well. But first and foremost, sorry for the late update, but like I said, when it comes down to it, the reality of trading is majority of you guys are going to be in school, or you guys are going to have a full-time 9-to-5 job, and you aren't capable of always sitting on the charts unless it is your sole income source, which it is not anymore for me. So I can't just sit on the charts and film shit anymore all day like how I used to be able to. So that's why I haven't been able to update you guys. And like usually how I trade now is I just quickly whip out my phone or look at the chart really quick on my computer, see what the market's doing, see if I have any entries, and then I quickly enter it, put my stop loss and take profits, and then I leave. And that is why you guys should all join my Discord. It's 100% free, and I'm going to be dropping all of my trades that I'm going to be taking on this 500 flip account completely for free, so you guys can follow along and hack for all of you Shockwave Capital traders that are watching this. You guys can obviously take my trades on your challenges as well. And at the moment, we're at like 250% gain on the account so far. So you guys would be slaughtering the challenge accounts if you guys were risking as much as I am. But the main reason why I took these trades right here this morning, I'll break down these ones. I'm not going to break down all of the trades I've taken since the 18th because it's a fair amount, but I'll show you guys my history before. And then obviously I do have a public My FX book, so you guys can check it to make sure that these are all actually valid trades and everything. But the reason why I started to take these buys after previously going for sells right here is because I noticed we created this key consolidation zone right here. So this would be the bottom of it. This would be the top of it. So that's why I bought in. This was an early buy because I seen that the DXY, the US dollar index, was dropping. And usually that means Euro USD is going to rise. So that's why I bought in. Could have, like I said, could have closed it for 500 profit there, but I decided to make my stop loss at break even just to see how high it's going to go. And clearly came back. I could have closed it twice for two $500 trades, but it's whatever. And then for this one, I bought this one because we came down to the bottom of this key consolidation zone that we formed here. Showed signs of rejections clearly back up. So I bought in, aiming for the top of it. And we came to the top of it. But this was during like the overnight session when I was sleeping. And for some reason, I thought it was just going to shoot up during Friday, which today is Friday, for like 2,000 points. But I decided not to do that. So I decided to move my take profit like way up here for like $2,000 instead of like the original 500, which it would have hit the $500 take profit. And then when I woke up, I seen it starting to form this little downtrend right here. So I closed it right there for 300 points, which would have been which was a $300 trade. And then I want to talk about this trade because I don't really get these trades that often, but when I do, they fucking feel so nice. So pretty much we came in this little downtrend. We were assuming this downtrend, and then we started to show signs of rejections off of this little support level right here. So I decided to put a pending order while I was about to head out to the gym for this spot right here while we were shooting back up over here. And price came down, filled my order, and then shot up here. I was originally aiming for these little highs right here. But after we got this rejection and then it started to come back up again, I decided to close it. for 126 points, but this was a 2 lot instead of all my other positions being 1 lots. So this was $200. And let's go look at my trade history really quick, and then I'll break down the sold trade, but there's not much to it. So let's go look at my trading history. So this was my deposit on the 12th, and then when I left off was these 2 Euro USD buys, which obviously hit stop loss like I said. And then it's kind of been green ever since then. As you can see, I had those 3 sells that I tried to do like I showed you, and we lost. One of them for a full take profit, the other 2 for half. And then, yeah, hit a couple good wins today. And that brings us to a $1,200 profit. And let's jump into the SOL trade. I'll break it down over here on the trading view, just because this is a better charting for SOL in my opinion, instead of like the Fusion Markets web broker. If it loads, which it's not loading. Okay, I just paused the recording while everything loaded up, but we're back now. So the main reason why I took this trade on SOL is because we're sort of in this 5-minute key consolidation zone right here, and we retested the top of it, and now we're showing signs of rejections. It's a little bit of a late entry. Originally, I would be aiming for an entry where my cursor is right here, but obviously we got in still a good spot to get in for a sell, and then stop loss at the top of here. I'll highlight it again. So there's my stop loss above here. To be safer, I could put my stop loss above here, but I am not doing that, and I'm going to be aiming for these lows. The probability of me holding for the full take profit is pretty low, just because we will see what price does at this level. So I'm actually going to put an alert here on Euro USD, or SOL USD I should say, and then I will put the message in really quick for there we go. So think about closing SOL at this level, and then I just have this alert right here telling me that SOL USD is rising, because I don't know if you guys can see, but like Fusion Markets has a massive spread for crypto. So like price is right here, my position's right there, but we're just in profit right now. So it's like a 300 spread. Look at that. That's how big the spread is right there. This is where market is. That's where the spread is. And so that's why I have an alert set like for right here, because in reality, it's going to be up here, and then I should think about closing it, because if we do come like right here, it's going to stop me out. So maybe it would be smart to move it up a little bit, but I'm not going to do that until I get an alert. So that's what I'm going to do. Sorry about not being able to update you guys more as I should have been, but you know, the reality of trading and being a profitable trader is you're not exactly have a camera crew set up or all of your recordings set up so that you can capture the exact moment you enter and exit a trade, and also get the movement in as well. That's one of the most telltale signs that somebody's a fraud, is if every single trade they take, they have a whole camera crew set up or the recording set up to capture the exact sniper entry and everything, because that's not how it actually is. So unless you're sitting on the charts for 12 hours a day, but most people can't do that because people have jobs. But yeah, so I'll update you guys with what happens with the SOL trade, and I will be more on top of seeing if I can record more of the trading. But like either way, like most of the recordings will be just me entering or exiting the trade, because I don't really watch my trades play out anymore. I don't have time to do that, but I will try to set aside time. All right, I'll update you guys with what happens with the SOL trade. All right, it's been another couple days. As you guys can see, we're back to break even. I'm currently in a Euro USD trade right now, which is bringing us back over break even. I'm going to show you guys my trading history and show you guys what's been happening and how we got from going from like $1,700 back down to like starting balance. This is one of the shittiest parts about trading with like such a small amount of capital is everybody goes through periods of drawdown. And since we're risking so much of the account per trade, if I go into not even really a period of drawdown, but just like a period of losing 4 or 5 trades in a row, that's going to wipe like the entire account, which in this case is pretty easy to do because we are risking so much of the account per trade. And then if I hold the trades until full stop loss, I almost have to have a high win rate for this flip challenge to work. But in terms of like my actual trading strategy and everything, I notoriously always perform around like the 30 to 40% win rate. And that means I can go and win 4 or 5 trades in a row that could bring the account up from $500 all the way up to $1,700 like it did. But that also means that I can lose 4 or 5 trades in a row that could wipe out the entire account. So that's like the biggest hiccup when it comes to flipping small accounts like this for my trading strategy anyways, is I need to go on a winning streak for it to work so I can build out a buffer. But there is something that I might change in the next episode that I think would change the entire outcome of this. So let's go to the trading history of where things started to go wrong. See, I went on a winning streak right off the bat. As you guys can see, like 5, 6 winning trades. Then I would lose a couple, win one. And then I went on this massive winning streak right here, 4 wins in a row. That's all great. Lost a few trades, 3, won a couple more. So as you guys can see, my trading strategy, I win a couple to like 5 in a row, and then I lose a few. But overall, you come out positive in the end. But this is where things start to go bad. I started to try to trade Sol, which I don't know how to trade crypto that much anymore. So we lost both of those over the weekend. And then I took 2 trades out of my entry model, and this hit the stop loss for Euro USD. And then also this one hit stop loss out of the Euro USD because this was out of my entry model. As you guys can see for this one, for the big losses I took right here, I was having a bigger lot size than usual. I usually only do 1, but I wanted to see if I could maximize the profits. So I took 2 lots for these 3 trades, which is dumb overall. So that sort of wiped out the account. And then I took these trades. This was a break-even trade right here. I could have closed it on like $250 worth of profit, which I probably should have, especially since we're trying to flip this account. But I let it see what would happen if I just let it run. Obviously, stopped out at break-even, and then I just closed this one over 200. And key takeaways is, like I said, if I go on a losing streak, which is bound to happen with my trading strategy, 4 trades in a low that I lost, I need to make sure I'm either not over leveraging like I have been or not trading markets that I don't know how to really trade yet. So some things to keep in mind moving forward. But the thing that I wanted to touch on as to how I can start getting ahead on this flip challenge in the next episode is this. It was these trades right here, these 4 trades. These were like directly in my entry model, and I was almost 99% sure that they would go into profit and hit take profit or hit close to take profit. So I'm thinking in the next episode, once my entry model shows itself in the market, instead of just taking like a normal position size, I think I might like 50% of the account risk it to flip it. And I think that's what I should be doing, because with these 99, I was 99% confident in these 4 trades that they would go into profit like they did. And looking back, since we are trying to flip the account, I should have full ported or at least risked like half the account, because these all would have been over $1,000 if I did it, and then we would have a way bigger buffer than what we did. Because this is what brought us to the $1,700 mark, and we would have been up like $4,000 or $5,000 if I full ported on these ones instead. So something to keep in mind. Don't trade markets I don't know how to trade. Don't try to figure them out on the fly. And then also don't over leverage positions that aren't to my entry model like these two were. And then this one right here as well. But I'm in this Euro USD trade right now. It seems pretty good because I'm selling off the same spot that this trade hit, this sell. So just looking for the same push down for a couple $100 and I'll close it. But yeah, that pretty much sums up how I went from $1,700 back down to break even pretty much. Well, I guess now if you take in consideration the equity, up $80. I'm going to start withdrawing money. If I make like $1,000 again, I'm going to withdraw like 500 just to see if Fusion Markets will even withdraw me.
So that pretty much sums up the first episode. I had the account balance at a high of $1,700, and then I went through a period of drawdown. Not really though, but just lost 4 trades in a row. And since I'm risking so much of the account, that brought us back down to like break even. But I have high hopes for next episode. This is the reality of trading. You're not going to win every single trade, and you're not going to go on a massive win streak. And you're also going to lose trades like I did. And you guys can all see the numbers are real and on a real live account with the link in my description, my FX book. And if you guys also want to follow along, join my Discord. It's completely for free. And then all the education I'm going to be posting there as well is going to be completely free for you guys to indulge in as well. Disclaimer, you can learn everything you need to know about trading completely for free spread across the internet. But if you value your time and time management, you can learn it from one face, which is from me. And I will teach you guys everything you need to know before you start learning and applying certain things to create your own profitable entry models. Like, subscribe, comment, and be sure put the notifications on so you guys get notified first when the next episode comes out where we flip this thing to $100 million. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we are back up to $800.